When you're defending Cutlass keys, this is the high ground on the battlefield. There's no better spot to be shooting from than right here. You can even crouch. You've got cover of point B. You've got cover of point C. Very easy to see. You can also see their rotations coming through the woods right up over there. What's up, Giga Gamers? Welcome to the Strat Chat. Today we're going to be doing something cool. We're going to be looking at the keys to Cutlass keys. We're going to be going in depth on the attack and defense of Cutlass keys. Let's take a look. Alright, here's the view of the front gate of the war tent. As you can see, when you step outside, it's wide open. The enemy is going to be able to see you when you come out this gate. You do have exceptional cover on the left and exceptional cover on the right. Both sides you'll be able to use to move around. Here we are on the east exit of the war tent. As you can see, you'll have a obstructed view. They won't be able to see you moving this way. And of course, you can rotate into the woods, gain cover onto the to the north or to the south without being seen. We are actually approaching the fort right now, and they cannot see any movements that we make. So we can actually move our entire army in this direction without being seen. As we approach the A point, you can see that we're going to come out of the trees. It is difficult to move your entire army once you do come here. It is actually fairly occult. It's very hidden from the center defenses and from the southern defenses of their fort. All right, so you have a pretty easy approach. One major advantage as you approach point A is that you will be hidden from some of the fire from their central turrets and from their southern turrets. The disadvantage is that they've got the high ground. As you approach, they'll be able to hit you, and they've got very good defenses coming up on these bulwarks. If you do decide to go straight at the B point, you will have a very quick access to it. The downside is that they're going to have the height advantages on both sides. Your advantage is that you've got a little bit of this cover on both sides, so you can hide some of your siege weapons. If you're going to attack this place with siege weapons, make sure that you're placing them up here behind the foliage, right? So you've got a clear spot right here. With a couple pickups, you can take up some of these bushes. You can actually make room for more siege machines in this area, and as you can see, they'll have slight bits of cover, a little bit harder for the enemies to spot. If you really want to hide your siege machines, this is a good little nook. Pretty easy to pick up the bushes right here. Get these out of the way. You can actually drop some siege machines that have line of sight to A and to point B. If we rotate from point B to point C, you can see that they've got the high ground and they'll be able to cover us, so you definitely do not want to come across in this area. Your approach to point C is similar to point A. It's uphill, which means maybe you can get here, get a little bit further before they notice you, but as you come up to the point, they're going to be opening fire on you and it's going to be very hard to fight back. If you hustle all the way around to the west side of the camp, you can actually see that you've got a darkened approach. It'll be very difficult for them to see you. Much easier for you to approach point C from this area. Boom, you pop right out of the woods and you're already there. Let's check out the defense. When you're defending Cutlass keys, this is the high ground on the battlefield. There's no better spot to be shooting from than right here. You can even crouch. You've got cover of point B. You've got cover of point C. Very easy to see. You can also see their rotations coming through the woods right up over there. Here's the bulwark overlooking point B and point A, and as you can see again, you've got a extreme height advantage, but you cannot see into the foliage the same way that you can over point C. As you can see, you're going to have a straight shot looking at any rotations coming out the front of the war tent. The issues are going to be trying to get line of sight, especially towards point A. Point C is a little bit easier. Your primary tool for defense is going to be the bulwarks on the right side of the map, right? So when you're looking at the south side, overlooking point C, this is the best spot because you can see the rotations through the woods, a little bit less dense foliage. You also have great line of sight that can see over point B, watch over point C. Alright, what makes Cutlass keys different from everywhere else is going to be significant coverage between the foliage on point A and point B. Second key is going to be the low to high offensive approach, which means you're going to be hidden for a little bit longer, but as you're approaching, you're going to be taking more damage from the height. And third, last and not least, is going to be the extremely strong placement of the bulwarks outside the base. They're on high ground, they've got excellent viewpoints, and they're going to be stronger in this base than in any other. Our primary strategy is going to be the strong suit. We're going to get 40 attackers going to point A. We're going to send 10 early out the south gate, watch them come over, make sure that they draw aggro early. You're going to get the first rotation of the defenders coming over to meet you. Then you should be able to take point A by force. Once you have point A, you can use the foliage here, the positions that we talked about, to set up siege weapons that are in the middle of the woods that are hard to attack by killing those brushes that we talked about, and then raining fire down on point B, rotating your guns over, and raining fire down on point C, using the foliage to cover your movements. Secondary strategy is going to be a full 10-man rush out the front. This gate is pretty close to point B. Once we take it, if we can take it with force, we're going to take advantage of the negative numbers that they have guarding the side gates, try to win this one fight quickly, and then we're going to back right back out and set up our siege weapons, again, in the positions that we mentioned, in the foliage, using the cover so that it's hard for them to defend it. From there, you're going to regroup into the base and use the dense foliage behind the fort to make movements side to side that are very hard to defend. Our third strategy is going to be sending 2 groups into the woods to set this area up early. Start getting your cannons down, aiming the guns down through the trees. You're going to cut down any trees that you need to in your way to make room. Get these turrets down so that your siege on A will be efficient later. Send the majority of your troops to try to hammer down on C. Try to get this numbers up fight before they do it, but so that they can't realize they're not going to be able to get their rotations in time. Once C is down, you rotate back to safety, and again, you've got your siege machines already set up, already knocking down the defenses on the turrets, and from here, you can look to continue approaches on B and A. So there you have it. There's your 3 strategies for attacking. This is what you want to be doing. Make sure that when you're going after Cutlass keys, if you want it to be your next fort, that you're rotating before these. It's going to take you several tries. Make sure that you're mixing up your attack strategies to keep those guys on their toes. When you're defending Cutlass keys, these 2 bulwarks are exceptionally important. You want to claim the majority of your troops onto them. They'll have extreme advantages when fighting over, especially over point C and point B. But also on point A, the biggest weakness that you have is the dense foliage in this area. So you want to focus your hammer forces, your vanguard. You want to make sure that you're punching through this area to make sure that you're intercepting troops that are trying to rotate through the darkness. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. That's going to be your guide to attack and defense on Fort Cutlass Keys. I'll catch you next time. Keep it surreal. Peace. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps the channel out a lot. I'll catch you guys next time. Keep it surreal. Peace.